Methil, a town built on the sea and the sweat of its people. For more than a century, East Fife Football Club has carried that story, a story of pride, heartbreak, and the will to keep going. In 1938, they shocked all of Scotland, lifting the Scottish Cup from outside the top flight. Still to this day, the only club to ever do it in history. Through the 40s and 50s, Bayview was alive with heroes. Then came long winters, relegations, empty stands, the fight to survive. But in Methil, belief never really disappears. It just waits for the right tide. In the summer of 2025, that tide came from across the Atlantic. Anthony DeMarco, a Rhode Island businessman with roots in real estate and a lifetime love for the game, took over control of East Fife. With him also came his children, his daughter Hudson, the strategic CEO, and his son Luca, the dreamer of a sporting director. Together, they call it the Golden Coast Project, a bridge between American ambition and Scottish heart. I saw a club that reminded me of home, hardworking, overlooked, still standing. We're not looking to buy trophies, we're building roots for the future, says Anthony DeMarco, new president and owner of East Fife. Soon the project stretched back across the ocean. A partnership has been announced with Rhode Island FC, a club in America in the USL Championship, the hometown of the DeMarco family. A very, very beneficial partnership that will allow for that golden bridge to link the two coastal clubs. Two communities, one vision. To shape the future, they brought in a teacher, Rami Kalani, Hawaiian-born USL veteran, believer in patience and pride. Grow roots before you chase the wind. That's what I tell him, Rami says. He calls every player family. In Methil's cold rain, he's teaching warmth. Every movement needs a voice. For East Fife, it came in another American, 30-year-old Joey Kannoli, charismatic, analyst-turned-coach, ready to trade spreadsheets for sidelines.
Joey, it's your first job not only in Europe, but in general. Why here and why are you the man?
I'll be honest, it's the club's vision, the promise that DeMarco made to me, the values that they have not only for themselves, but for this club and this community, right here in Scotland, right here in East Fife. They've been through it, and they're still swinging. That's my kind of fight. And I assure you, I'm the one to do it. I plan on being here for the long haul.
What will East Fife football look like under you?
Fast, fearless, and local. We're going to play modern football, but with Methil's bite. I can assure anybody that comes and buys a ticket to support the boys, you're going to get your money's worth.
What's the long-term goal?
To build something that outlives all of us, an academy that turns believers into players, and players into the future. I really just can't wait to see what we can do here in East Fife and to take it worldwide. From the docks of Methil to the harbors of Rhode Island, one tide, one dream, a new chapter begins. This is East Fife. This is the Golden Coast Project. Welcome back to the 6 of you who watched a couple videos I made a few months back. But regardless, welcome to FM 26. No matter if you hate it, no matter if you love it, we're here, baby. I'm one of the ones that enjoy it. So we're going to make a series on it. I'm really thinking that this is one that it's going to be a nice slow burn to it. I got some goals set up. I've got some fun ideas that hopefully you guys kind of got from the little intro video. Hopefully you guys like that and it's, humor of how it was made and all that stuff. I'm not the most artistic when it comes to videos, but hey man, I had fun making it. I think it's a cool little intro to kind of bring you guys into the idea that I'm cooking here. And I really think that it's going to be a fun one to kind of follow along. So anyway, welcome in. I'm Joey Kannoli. I am Joey Kannoli in real life. I'm Joey Kannoli in FM. Here we go. Look at that bald fraud right there. So there's the coach, 30 years old, the attacking, entertaining, developing, highly driven, and inspiring coach. And from the intro, I'm sure you got, obviously, at least where we're at. We're in East Fife FC. We're in League One of Scotland, so the third tier out of 4 that is playable in FM. It's a club that, they could use some love. So that's why I really chose them. They have some cool stories, like I showed. They won the cup once, and funny enough, just like I said in that intro, they're the only club in Scottish history to ever win the cup, not being in the first flight. So they have some little bit of rare history to them. They finished as high as third in the Prem. Obviously, it was back in the 50s, but they were a long time mainstay in the Scottish Premier League back in those golden ages from the 30s, 40s, 50s, and then they kind of yo-yoed a bit here and there. The last time our beloved new club, East Fife, was up in the Prem was 1975, literally 50 years ago on the dot. So it's been a while since our boys have been up there. They've been in the championship not too long ago. I think in the last 20 years we've been in there. I don't have the dates in front of me anymore, so I'm not too positive. But for the last, current time, they've been bouncing between fourth and third at League One, League Two, rather. They've been just kind of yo-yoing between the bottom two divisions of the SPL, and I'm really looking forward to bringing them back. So this club, this save, this story that we're going to be telling and doing together here on this channel is going to be obviously a Park the Prim vibe. We're starting the low leagues of Scotland. Obviously, the goal is to go up to the Prim, challenge Rangers and Celtic, and really try to win some titles. But of course, then obviously progressing to Europe, all that stuff. At the same time, of course, we want to do a little bit of build a nation. So I really want to develop youth from the club, make sure that they can go on to become nationals for Scotland, make sure that they can, maybe even obviously leave the club in our first couple years in the Prem because we're not going to be very big or anything like that. Go out and branch out in other big leagues in Europe. Another one of the big goals for this save is not only developing the nation of Scotland, but I think what makes this unique is we're going to be trying to develop the nation of the United States at the same time. And by doing that, we're going to be signing young Americans to come here, train in Europe, train in Scotland, get a lot of game time in a lower European level, and then spread their wings and go out to Germany, to England, to France, to Italy, to Spain, all of the bigger leagues in England, not in England, all of the bigger leagues in Europe. So that's the goal of this save, on top of the obviously rising up to the top, making East Fife one of the biggest clubs in Scotland and maybe even the world, and growing our own Scottish homegrown talent, but at the same time, growing that American youth talent, connecting that golden bridge, like we said, all the way across the Atlantic. So I think that's what makes this thing very special, very unique. We have the lore built in of an American owner that brought over his daughter and son to help run the board. We brought in an American head of youth development with USL playing experience background. He's a, very determined guy who wants to really grow people that are connected to the community and grow people that are connected to buying into the identity of this culture that we're growing here. And by doing that, I think we're going to produce a lot of Scottish and American talent, and hopefully that not only pushes us to the top and gets us back to the Prem, but gets us in a nice place where we can sell those guys off for money, reinvest it into the club, keep those guys around, and they can help us launch into Europe. So I'm very excited for this save. I think it's going to be a very, very fun time. So this story obviously isn't one-to-one from real life. I'm sure you guys got that right away. The telling of the story of the DeMarco family. So these are made-up people. I wanted to kind of have an American takeover, but not a tycoon takeover, not something that's just some millionaire, billionaire that comes in and throws money around and makes the club, instantly amazing. That's not what's happening. So on the screen, you can see Anthony DeMarco, the 55-year-old owner that moved here with his family from Rhode Island. As you can see, I don't know why it's showing his stats. He's not a coach or anything like that, but he's the owner and the president of the club. Now, along with him, as you guys saw earlier, is his daughter and his son. So Hudson DeMarco's the CEO, one of the board members, and the sporting director is his son, Luca, another board member. So these three are going to play a part of the lore, the storytelling of this save. Those are going to be the three people making sure that we're going in the right direction. As you can see, if we go to, where is it? Bear with me. Obviously, I'm sure you guys that are playing along in FM26 have your own save. You guys probably have the same things when it comes to Um, you know, where things are in FM26. Don't get me wrong, I like the game. When it was in the alpha and the beta, obviously it had bugs. Every game does. I think a lot of people have rose tinted glasses on old FMs. The old FMs, when they came out beta, even the first week they were out, there was always bugs. Sure, it wasn't maybe this bad, right? But this is a whole new game. I'm not going to bat saying SI did no wrong, but I also don't want to rant about that. Either way, bear with me when I'm clicking around through all these tiles trying to find stuff, because it is still a very brand new game and I'm still trying to figure out some stuff. But anyway, those three owners, the DeMarco family, they're going to play a role in this lore. Sometimes I might make storylines with them, of course, but they're always going to be there. And as you can see, the club culture, obviously, they want us to develop players using the club's youth system, but another big one is they want to sign American players. Now, we've already done that. We've done that before the save started. Again, this isn't a real life one-to-one. This is a save that it's still realistic. So I hope that none of you guys think that, again, these owners, they're not billionaire, trillionaire owners. Obviously I did some of this in the pregame editor. I don't have the editor turned on in this save. I don't use it in saves I play. But in the background, before the save started, obviously I added all these people into it. I added the affiliate club in Rhode Island. We're going to talk about them here in a second. And I gave us two American players that are real in real life. The first one is William Hoyer. He was hard to find a picture of. In real life, he plays for Bergatinos. Again, if you guys have watched my old videos, and if this is your first time, buckle up, because my pronunciations of a lot of things are terrible. So he played in a Spanish club down in the lower leagues in real life. He's also 17, 18 in real life. And obviously, I wanted to bring two American players to start this save off, but two American players that aren't good by any means. As you can see, our scouts think he's just a decent League 2 player. So he's not even good for the league we're in. He does have pretty good potential if he can hit it. And again, that's up to our coaches who aren't the best, so they could be very wrong. So there's a chance he becomes at least a championship level player, which would be great. As you can see, actually, we'll go over players in a bit. I just wanted to show you the two Americans we have to start with. So the other one is Jeremiah White IV, a very prestigious name. We got him from, in real life, he is in League of Warsaw. He's on their, second team. Feel like it was a good poach. Again, none of these players are good. It's not like I took Christian Pulisic or Wonder Kids from America, anything like that. I'm just taking real life, two Americans, bringing them over to Scotland, keeping them in Europe, but giving them a little bit more of a chance. Now, this guy is actually pretty good. He's leading for League 2, also has potential to maybe be a championship player, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, though, back to the lore of this. The family, right? The three DeMarcos that came here, they're full-time, soccer fanatics, football fanatics. They wanted to invest their money into a club that felt like home. And if you guys kind of got it from the intro, they're hardworking people. They love to develop roots, and they have no interest in leaving this club anytime soon. So this is going to be a long-term save. I think a save that I can honestly play for months. Whether it's, 10 years into this save, whether it's 25 years into the save, however far it goes, that's the fun of it. That's what I like to do in FM. I like long-term saves. I don't like something that I want to try to breeze through here in a month and just win the UCL in as quick time as I can and just get it out. I like playing FM very realistic. We're gonna make signings that make sense to the team. We're gonna make signings that make sense to this lore we're building and all that good stuff. So my goal is to get out 2 videos a week. That's what I want to do. I think each video will probably cover half of a season. Maybe sometimes a little bit less, a little bit more, depending on the flow of what's going on. Maybe I have to catch you guys up on a lot of transfers. Maybe I have to catch you guys up on a lot of games, things like that. Here and there, I also wouldn't mind streaming over on my Twitch, maybe here on YouTube, multi-streaming on both, just to, if anybody wants to pop in and kind of watch some games happen naturally, maybe stream some off-season, stuff like that. So I'm going to leave a link in the description for Twitch and possibly do some stuff like that. But when it comes to this series, I want to do at least one bare minimum. The goal is for 2 videos every week to just keep this thing rolling. And hopefully you guys can follow along and have some fun with it. There's going to be plenty of things where, I'd be happy to have you guys input in the comments, about, like this kid from the youth intake, let's see him. sign this kid, don't ever sell this guy, things like that. And another one of these guys from the lore that we created is the head of youth. As you can see, he's very good. I'm not going to lie. He's the one that I kind of let myself be a little unrealistic with. Now, he's here. He's not superb at anything, but he is very good at working with youngsters and very good at judging potential. He's good with determination, things like that. Also, one thing about FM26, I don't know about you guys, I miss numbers when it comes to staff. I wasn't like opposed to it at first when I was first playing it in the alpha and beta and such, but in a save that like I'm really sinking my teeth in like this, and the one I actually played for about a week deep into the beta, I was like, man, I really miss actual numbers when it came to staff. Like, so that's just me. But anyway, this is Rami Kalani. This is the last person that was created in the lore. So it's the three DeMarcos and the head of youth, Rami Kalani, an American from San Diego. He's also a Hawaiian that moved to San Diego when he was young. He played a lot of USL football. So this is the guy that's going to be molding the people that come through the youth intake. As you can see, he likes 4-4-2 and he likes 4-3-3 with a DM, which, funny enough, is what we're going to be playing here to start off. Obviously, this team's not good. From what I've been saying, this team's historically not good. They haven't been good for a while, but just like in real life, nobody's given up on these guys. They have a nice stadium that holds about 2,000 people. They still get a nice fan base turnout. This is a club that's been around for over a decade. One of the, mainstays in Scottish top flight, like I said, back in its, kind of golden age of the 30s, 40s, 50s, things like that. So this is a club that deserves to be back there. And by God, Joey Kannoli and us and you guys, we are going to make them get back there. Off topic, but we did make some custom kits. We have a sponsor from Carhartt, the American workwear company, because I thought that was pretty cool to have like an American brand and tie it into like the Scottish hardworking, working class area of Fife, Fife and Methil, the town that we're in, East Fife, all that stuff, kind of make it a crossover. We are also have New Balance Kits, which is a East Coast American, kit manufacturing company. So I thought all of that kind of made sense in the lore, and they actually look really good in game. If I don't put it in the description, remind me. I'm going to try to put, all the stuff I made in the description so you guys can make your own on your own saves. I like the kit creator, what I used for it. A guy named Elliot made this badge. My skin, links to the videos I used in the intro, stuff like that, just so everybody can, explore for yourself if you want to. So, this club, there's only 10 teams in Scottish League One. We're projected 8th, so they don't see us doing well, and they got us as relegation favorites. Okay, my goal for year one is to not get relegated, obviously. I would love a mid-table finish, like a 5th, 6th. I think that would be great. If this was FM24, I'd probably back myself to get us up year one. I think I could do it. FM26 is a different beast, and I'm not used to it. Tactically, I'm still trying to figure everything out. Obviously, I played the beta for the last couple weeks, 2 weeks. I got a couple good tactics tweaking in my beta save kind of in the last week. But this is a new team, new club, and they're not good. So 5th or 6th, I would be flying high. And maybe year 2 in League One, we push for promotion. Anyway, let's look at a couple of the key players before we hop into our first game, which I am going to play game number 1 with you guys here. Episode 1 is probably going to be a long-ass episode. So I hope you guys are enjoying it, getting cozy, and ready to do some stuff. So like I said, I think year 1, we're going to be rocking a 4-3-3. A couple games we might pull out the 4-4-2. I know it looks like a 4-2-4 in possession. It is. Welcome to FM26. But it's a 4-4-2 out of possession. So this is, I think, what we're going to roll out with to start the season. It's a 4-3-3. Out of possession, it drops back a bit more defensively to a 4-1-4-1. I also have been really digging target men, target forwards, big boys, and I feel like in the lower league of Scotland, it's going to hit. So I'm really looking forward to that. And up top, we have this guy on load from Annan Athletic who is a unit. Tommy Goss, a.k.a. Tommy Gas. This brother is 6'4", 14 strength, 15 jumping, 16 heading. I don't know what else you need in the third division of Scotland. I mean, he's also got pretty good off the ball. His bravery and anticipation is quite good. He can finish well. His first touch is shockingly good for this big of a guy. Obviously, he ain't got much when it comes to speed. He's got 6 excel, 6 pace. I don't want this guy to press. I don't want him trying to, beat men and chase a ball over the top. I want him to get into the box, use his big frame and size, and box people out. And these wingers hopefully just swing it over to him. Now, you might have noticed my left winger's on trial. Well, good news. Down here, you're allowed to have no more than 2 players on trial in the starting 11. Now, Warnock has a contract out from us. He's already accepted, and I hope in the next couple days he's going to actually officially join us. So I said, you know what? I'm putting him in the starting 11. He's already got a contract out. In the next few days, he's going to be an official member, and I'm not going into game 1 without him. So Stephen Warnock, new signing that I just got across the line. I think he's going to be nice for us. He's a solid League One player, got a little bit of pace, a little bit of dribbling, first touch, a little bit of crossing, just kind of everything that you need on the wing. The right winger, I think this guy is going to be one of the most important players this season, is Adam Larif. He's an Algerian right winger. He's played, I believe, all throughout kind of the England, lower leagues. Yeah, so he's been, these are like, if I remember correctly, these are like 8, 9, 10 tiers of England. So he's been way down there. Joined the club in real life last season, knocked in 5 goals to help them get promoted. That is one thing I don't think I mentioned, that in real life and in FM where we sit, last year they did get promoted from League 2, so they're fresh off a promotion, which is another reason they are relegation favorites. Now, on paper, our star man is Michael McKenna, a seasoned veteran, 34 years old, well-traveled, all around Scotland. He's been, funny enough, he's never been to the Prim. He's been in the Championship a lot over the last couple years. He's been a Championship mainstay with Abrath. Again, my pronunciation, hopefully it's not too bad. I'll learn along the way. But for 34 years old, he is very nice. He's a leading player for the league. He's still got enough fitness that I think he can do well this season. Maybe we bring him back next year for depth. In a dream world, he'd be with us until we get to the Prim. But at 34, I don't know how much he's going to make it. So he's going to be playing everywhere for us. As you can see, he can play all the way up to striker, the wings, midfield, wherever you need him. He's a perfect plug-and-play vet. Now, the Americans. The left back, who I think is going to be one of our most important players, even though he's not one of the best, is Jeremiah White, the one we showed you earlier. He's a 2-footed fullback. He can play on either side. He's got a lot about him in his physicals. He's a 6'2 fullback. That's a big boy. Very pacey for this division too. 12 excel, 13 pace. Not the strongest. Also not the greatest stamina. So I don't think for 90 minutes he's going to give us, that energy that we would really want to see from our fullbacks. But he's going to be playing every game, barring injuries, because we want to develop this kid and we want to develop him right. Now his mentals are also pretty good for an 18-year-old. Work rate's great. Off the ball is great for a fullback. Very good determination. Got a little bit of flair to him also. And then these aren't bad. Most of them are 8 to 10s. I think over time, hopefully we can see these keep going up, and we got a real player here. So Jeremiah White, one of the important Americans for this save, he's going to be one of the important players this season. The next American, and the last player I think I'm going to show you before we hop into it, is William Hoyer. He's the one that's only a League 2 type player, kinda. But that's not going to stop me from starting him. He might be a rotational guy. I really want to start him, though. He's got the makings of a nice defensive midfielder. He's not the strongest again, but he's got the stamina. He has the pace. He's 6'1", 2-footed again. The determination is really what's pushing me to play this kid a lot. 17 determination, good aggressiveness and work rate, and the passing and tackling both being 13. That's kind of all you need back there, baby. Win the ball and recycle it out. Win, pass, make a tackle, pass. So William Hoyer is in. He's our number 8, and that's going to be the 2 Americans in this season. Now, I just lied because I'm going to show you the rest of the back line real quick. Andy Monroe, big center back, surprisingly good when it comes to his technique. He's going to be important. The other one is a old Brian Easton, 37 years old, and I mean old when it comes to sports. he ain't got much in his pace. He's got 5 acceleration and 5 pace. So we're going to see how that can hold up. Hopefully down here, that's not too bad. The good news is, though, this brother, on loan from on loan from Dundee United, is on paper, according to the season preview, the best keeper in the entire league of League One. So I don't even know how to pronounce his first name. It's like Rarid. He sounds Middle Eastern. He doesn't sound Scottish. I could also just be completely butchering that name. So I'm going to call him Rory, like a Ferrari. Rory Adams. This is going to be the big man behind the sticks, between the sticks, and hopefully saving us a lot of pain this season. So let's go ahead and jump in to game number 1. Coming out of that nice 4-3-3. Look how good the team looks. Look how good the tactics look. And just look how good FM26 looks this year, boys. It's so nice. The trees are actual trees. The grass is actual grass. It looks like a game that came out in 2015 on the iPhone. It finally doesn't look like a game that came out in 1998 on a Windows. So, that's good. So here we are, game number 1 of the season, League One. Hopefully we get some highlights. Hopefully I'm not just sitting here yapping on the ultra speed back and forth 2D batch at the bottom. Anyway, I do like this material skin. It's a little bit better of a looker. Don't like this, though. 9 minutes in, Peterhead's got a corner. Come on, boys. Oh, God, okay. I think that skimmed off the top bar. I don't love that. The team does have a lot of height. We got 6'1", 6'2" guys everywhere. We got the 6'4" striker, so hopefully defending corners we can do well. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I'm kind of hoping that we can pull a little bit of an arsenal and just become set piece FC. If we can't get the goals rolling, I don't really have much shame into saying, all right, guys, well, kick it off one of their shins and let's get corners. Let's rinse and repeat it. Draw a foul. Let's free kick it in. Let's do something. Speaking of, how do we have 4 shots, but none of them are on target? It's been 35 minutes and we don't have one highlight. The only highlight we saw was a corner from Peterhead. Neither team are cooking. All right, come on, boys. Win this ball. Let's get the highlight our way. Look at those jerseys, though. Those jerseys look nice. The black and gold for East Fife. We got the white Carhartt logo over top. Was that on sides? Did we just get burnt? And he double doinked it in? Ugh, okay. Well, what's funny is the man that we were just talking about, not Andy Monroe, but Brian Easton, he got caught. That 5 pace really cooked him. Oh, boy, that was bad. That was bad. That was just simply long ball, hoofed it over the top. He almost missed, banged it off both posts, and it went in. So, looks like we're going to be down 1-0 at halftime. Wait a second. It better not be 2-0. Nice. Win that, Colbert. All right, Larif. Playing it back is dangerous games. Lumping it up like that is insane when you know that brother's just going to head it. He ain't a technical striker, boys. What are we on? Don't do it again. Don't do it again. All right, so we found a problem early. The good news is we found it early. Our back line is slow as me. I think my ass back there might be able to put in at least a 5 or a 6 pace. I might be as fast as Easton. I mean, Monroe, why did you get caught out? Yeah, this could be bad, boys. This could be bad. They could know. We're not even, I assure you, we're not playing no crazy high line or nothing like that. So we're just kind of getting caught. They've just lumped it to Shanks both times. It was from Paulett. All right. Let's hope in the second half we can kind of pick it up a little bit. 2-0 down is not what I wanted for match number 1. Like I told you guys, man, if this was FM24, maybe I could pull this team into promotion. Maybe. FM26, I'm just crossing my fingers, praying to God we don't go down. So, like I said, man, this is going to be a nice... No. Well, one of our key men just got injured, and it's also in a position that we are very thin in. So, that's sick. Norrie is a kid that we have in who, as you can see, he ain't good. All right, actually, I'm not going to put him in. We're going to put McKenna up at the wing, and we're going to put in a midfielder instead. Yeah. Okay, everything's going bad to start this season off, boys. 64 minutes. We still have had, absolutely nothing from any sort of highlights. Nothing. I don't even know what to really say about this, but nothing looks good. Everybody's got some of the worst ratings I've ever seen. It's kind of impressively bad, to be honest with you guys, how bad everyone's playing. So there's that. I think our highest rating right now is, not counting the keeper. Actually, he's 6'3". Okay, wow. Our right back has a 6'8". I thought the keeper had a 6'8". Okay. As you can tell, there's a reason I played game one. I wanted you guys to get a feel for this team and how not great they are. But hopefully in a couple months, a couple weeks even, we'll be able to be like, wow, Joey, you remember how bad East Fife was when we first took over? And I'll be like, yeah, guys, I can't believe we got him to where we got him. Because that's going to be quite the journey. Because boy, oh boy, does this team, you know, I'm not going to say suck, but they're not good. They're not good. Let's score one. Can we at least make this look like, decent? Can we make it? No way now. Our left wing's hurt. We just signed the kid. He's not even signed yet. He's on trial. He's playing for free. He's playing for the love of the game. Come on, let's get one goal. Ooh, over the top to Austin off the bench. No, that was a beautiful little chip. Oh my God, was that a volley chip also? They're not even gonna look. We don't even get a replay because there's not even any, of course there's no VAR, but I would still like to see a replay on my end just to see how bad it was. Defend that, all right. Come on, boys, we got 10 minutes. Let's get a goal. I at least want to get a goal. Feel good about something. Oh my God, they're in a 3-0 us, aren't they? Okay, that was a good save. That was a good save by Adams. My God, they're just down our throats. I mean, okay. Possession's pretty even. How did we have 7 corners and none of them were good enough to even see on our replay? The XG's terrible. I mean, they're cooking us on the XG, but to be fair, their 2 goals were wide open goals. I mean, we're not really getting outclassed. It was just both those goals caught our back line slipping because they're about slow as hell. Boy. A 2-0 defeat to start the season, to start the save. It was rough. Please don't make it rougher. Please don't 3-0 me as I'm trying to make it not sound like we just got dog walked. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do it. Don't do this. Hey, don't do that. Don't do it, man. Barry, chill out. Why does that guy look so fast? Oh my God. He almost just hit goal of the year on us if that connected. What the hell was that? Did he forget we're in the 3rd division of Scotland? He was dribbling fast as hell and then just whipped it, and it almost went bank off the back post. Jesus. All right. Well, boys, the Joey Kannoli show in East Fife starts out to a defeat, and a resounding defeat of 2-0. It's pretty bad. Pretty bad start to the season, pretty bad start to the save, but hey, man, we got to start somewhere. And like I said, it's going to be oh my God, and it gets even longer. It gets even longer. Okay, well, our star right, oh my God, our star right wing is out for almost 2 months. Yeah, anyway, I don't think this will be the end of episode 1. I think I'll probably tap back in at about the midway point of the year, and we'll catch up before I end the season. Or not in the season, in the video. So I'll see you guys back here in a second. Hopefully I'm in a better mood. All right. We are back in late December, 5 days until Christmas. Half of the season to the date is gone. There's 36 league matches in this first season, League One. We are 18 games in. And when we last cut, when you guys last saw us, we played that first game. We got beat, humiliated. We lost what I thought was going to be a key player for 2 months. So let's catch you guys up. First thing first, let's take a look at the league. We're in first. Don't ask, okay? When I last was talking about it, I said if this was FM24, maybe I'd back myself to get us a year 1 promotion. We were tipped to finish 8th or 9th. 9 gets you in a relegation playoff. 10 gets you sent down to League 2. This team just got promoted from League 2 last season. The team really doesn't have a lot of League 1 type players. There's maybe 5 of them on the entire roster when we first got the team. I told you guys, 5 or 6 would be a dream for year 1. If we could finish 5 or 6, maybe get into the playoffs, but I expected a year 2 promotion. And, I'm knocking on wood here. We're sitting in first. we're looking good. 18 games, we got a 3-point lead. We got 18 games left into the season. But as you can see, not only are we playing well, it's not a fluke, okay? It's not a fluke at all. We're up there in overall goals. We're in third. We were just in first. I guess Montrose just had a crazy game or something, but we're playing really, really well. We're not overperforming or anything. Like, we're actually just playing really good. We're fourth in goals allowed, so we're top 5, top 4 in both defensive and offensive stats. Our attendance is actually good too. We're averaging about 1,100 fans, so the stadium only holds just under 2,000, so we're almost having a sellout every game. And then for player stats, that boy Nathan Austin, the big 32-year-old striker up top, he is leading the league in average rating. Bad news about him, he got hurt a while back, and he's been out for a long time. He broke his arm, so that's not a great thing to hear. But you'll see soon we have multiple people scoring goals. Nathan's got 7. New signing Alex Jakubiak's got 8. And Tommy Ghost, a.k.a. Tommy Gas, the big target man's got 9, leading the team. So we're in first. Team's playing well. Everyone's playing well. Let me show you. We did bring in 2 new people. Now, in that first game we watched together, we were running a 4-3-3. And the guy we had playing left wing was on trial due to sign with us. Funny thing is, after we lost, I don't know if the loss changed his opinion or what, but he switched up on us. He joined another club. I believe he went to, I think it was Kelty Hearts. I'll be honest, I can't remember off the top of my head since that was months ago in the save now. So that didn't happen. And at the same time, we lost Larif, who was the right wing. And we don't really have that much depth on the wings. The whole idea of signing that left winger was to get a little bit of depth. He'd be the starting left wing. Larif would be the starting right wing. And then we had about one bench player on both sides with one guy that could kind of play on, a filler role. So once that happened, we had to really quickly shift tactics. So since then, we've been running something that I call the Bayview engine. A 4-4-2 diamond. I know it looks a little janky, but that's just because it's the combined screen. So this is what it looks like in and out of possession. For you tactic nerds out there like me, it's been working really well, obviously, since we have jumped up into first place and been holding it pretty much most of the year. It's a very simple, nothing too crazy about it, 4-4-2 diamond. In an offense, when we're in possession, the wingbacks, they get way up. We have them on overlap, all that good stuff. I really have been liking target mans like I talked about earlier, and they've been scoring goals like crazy up front. This 3 triangle group right here is the driving force. I don't really let these 2 do too much craziness when we go forward. This is just a CM, so he kind of does a little bit of everything. The wide center midfielder, he kind of provides a little bit more width over this way and kind of drifts around, in that area of the field. Then, of course, we just have a DM playing at DM. Now, when we drop back into the out of possession, it's a little bit more flat. The 10 drops back into the midfield 3. I do have wide midfielders on defense, so they kind of fill into this wide area because I don't want to be fully overrun, and the fullbacks just drop back into a nice flat back 4. And it's been working really well. I was mentioning that the left winger that was supposed to join didn't. So once he didn't, again, we switched back into this. No wingers. We didn't have the depth for it. We lost, what's his name? We lost Larif, who barely has played now because he was gone for months, picked up another injury, was gone for weeks. It's been a very injury-full season, but because of how well this tactic's done, we've been able to perform well. So we switched ideas. We brought in Alex Jakubiak. For those of you who have played Scottish saves before or maybe follow the Scottish leagues in real life, he is pretty much a Scottish journeyman. I think he started in England in real life. Yeah, through the Watford Academy, played in Wycombe, all that stuff. And then has been in Scotland for a long time now. I had a Scottish save, I think, back in 21 or 22. I remember him being in there. He's a championship guy, played in the Prem a little bit, quite a few years back. But as you can see, man, picked him up on a free star player contract, about 40 grand a year, one of our highest paid players, but it's really working out. 14 games started, 15 games total. He's got 8 goals, 1 assist, averaging over a 7. And realistically, the reason I brought him in is for a little bit of pace up top. We had a lot of target men only, a lot of the big guys only up top. and I really needed that little change of pace, especially if we're going to run 2 forwards. So he's been great. When Austin was healthy, Austin was playing the channel forward up top, and actually dropped Alex back into the 10, playing the channel midfielder. And that attacking triangle we had up top was cooking. So I can't wait for that to come back. So that was one of the signings. The other signing we made was, if you guys remember from game 1, we had, where is he? Easton was the starting center back, and he got cooked that entire game because, I mean, just look at his physicals. He has 4 pace, 4 acceleration, 7 stamina. Now, he did play well after that game. So he played 5 games after the one you saw, averaged a 7. Bad news is he just now is getting healthy. He missed a game early. I think, obviously, like you just saw, he only played 6 games. Excuse me while I'm trying to figure out where I go to find, there it is, injury history. So he missed a game. Where is it? Here. He hurt his hip and missed 3 months, so he hasn't played since that first month of the season. And because of that, obviously I needed to bring in a center back, but more importantly, I needed somebody with some pace. And that's where Harry Mack comes in, Harry McAvoy. Now, if you know me, which not many of you do yet, I love tall center backs. This brother is the opposite. He's 5'4". He's the size of, I don't even know what, man. He looks so hilarious back there on my back line, and I'll be honest, I was skeptical, but I was like, you know what? I just need pace. I need something back there. And he's got pace. He's 11 pace, 11 excel. He's actually very strong, and he can head the ball fairly well for someone that's 5'4" with pretty good jumping. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, he wins the ball a lot. So he's been very, very good on that back line, surprisingly, even though he is genuinely 5'4". He's a little guy. It was the center back and the new striker, Jakubiak. And again, this is the tactic that we've been running since then, the Bayview engine. It's nothing too insane. I will show you guys the tactic instructions if you just want to take a look at what we're doing. In possession, doing a little bit of counterattack when we lose the ball. Decently higher tempo. We sit a little bit narrow when we got the ball. I don't really change too much. Obviously, I have the crosses to go floated because we do have target men. We do have some big giants up top. I will be showing some highlights, I'm sure, if I didn't already, right now while I'm showing you guys some stuff that we're doing. We pass into the space when we got the ball because I do want Jakubiak and some of the other guys, like the fullbacks that push up, to kind of lead them into the space to go beat their man. Out of possession, nothing too crazy. We do try to play a high press. Some games I do knock that back down, just if we're going up against more athletic teams, quicker teams where we might be just getting overall have a bad luck with. But this is the main identity that we do come in with now. It's a counter press system, 4-4-2, win the ball and hoof it up to someone fast and then whip it into the box to someone tall. And it's been working. It's been working real well. So that is what we are doing so far to catch you guys back up on. Overall, on the screen, I'm sure I'll be showing you guys some other things. We've won some Coach of the Month awards. We've won some Player of the Month awards. On top of that, we did get the youth intake preview. As you can see right here on the screen, it's looking good. Cross your fingers, hold your breath. We could have a very nice first youth intake, which would be huge. It's a 4.5 star out of 5. And the thing that I'm very excited about is the 3 things that are the best are 3 things that we're currently using a lot. Wingbacks, attacking midfielders, and strikers. Now, this would be big. In the future, I want to run a 3-4-3 with this club. I really think it would be fun. It's something that I haven't done a lot, so I wanted to kind of try something new, especially in FM26. Wingers are really good so far from what I learned in the beta. So I really want to have some nice attacking wingers with maybe a big target man in the top, and then have a 5-back that's obviously a 3-4-3 when we're attacking. So wingbacks would be great. A 10 would be cool, and hopefully the striker is really good. And hopefully, because of the connection that we have with Rhode Island's in the game as an affiliate, hopefully that they can bring in some, maybe we get a cheeky American or 2 when we come through here. I don't know if I showed this in the beginning, and if I did, I'll probably cut this out, but we do have that relationship with Rhode Island in America, and it is one of those things where they can send academy players to train here, which means some of them might come through in the youth intakes, which is very cool. So if none of you guys have seen that before, That just means we have a better chance that we might not get nothing but Scottish players. We might get, an American or two. And it doesn't hurt that the coach is American. We have some board members that are American, and the head of youth is American. So hopefully we can do that. And speaking of American, like I said, we had a lot of bad injuries. William Hoyer, the defensive midfielder, played 9 games for us straight, averaged a 6.7. I'm not going to make a comment or a joke on that, but he sadly got hurt. He hurt, I believe, also his hip, if I remember correctly. I don't want to go to training. Again, trying to figure out where everything is, man. Hip injury, out for 2 months already, and it still looks like he's going to be back to train in about a week, but it's probably going to be another 2 or 3 weeks before he can even start getting some game time. So his development took a little bit of a hit because of how long he's been out. He was playing good, though. And then the other American, Jeremiah White, has absolutely just popped off. He's averaging just under a 7, but in his 15 starts, 17 total games in the league, he's got 4 assists playing on that left back, mainly, but sometimes he does come in over on the right. Thank God he is 2-footed. But the biggest thing is he has went from potentially a championship player and a decently won player already to a good championship player right now, and potentially has possibility to becoming a Prem player. So hopefully that's true. Obviously, we don't have the best coaches. They could be completely wrong about it. The only thing that scares me is both he and Hoyer have a con that they are, fairly susceptible to injuries. So we're going to hope they can stay healthy and they can stay, good. But so far, the American project is kicking off nice with those two. Whole team's playing really good. So yeah, that's the catch up that we're on right now. Upcoming, well, I'll also show you guys how bad we started out. If you count the League Cup and the friendlies, I'll be honest, I thought this series would have been done possibly really quick. We couldn't win a friendly. We couldn't win a Leagues Cup game against a couple League 2 sides. So bad stuff. Then we watched the Peterhead game together. Obviously, we watched us get skunked. We got beat to Aloha Athletic. And then the Challenge Cup is when I switched to the 4-4-2. Still lost against also a League 2 team right there. And then it all started clicking. So counting all of these games, league, friendlies, League Cups, Challenge Cups, we lost our first 9 games in a row to start, and we only scored 3 goals. It was just laughable. It was as bad as you could get. And then as soon as we beat Hamilton, which is the preseason favorite to win the league, all of this stuff, beat Hamilton, and we just went on a run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games in a row we won, including Challenge Cup games, league games, all that stuff. And you can see we were scoring goals galore. 3 goals, 2 goals, 2 goals, 4 goals, 3 goals, 2. It just never ended. And then, since then, we've really just been on the up and up. Obviously, there's still a few losses here and there, but overall, we're just kind of cooking. So this 4-4-2 diamond, I think it's more the tactic than the players, because you guys saw we don't really have stellar players. It's not like we have a league-winning team by itself and they're just winning in spite of the tactics that I'm cooking. I actually do think this 4-4-2 diamond is nice. So until I have a reason to, we're sticking with this. And you can see the league table here fully. We've only lost 4 games, and we lost our first 2. So it's been a very, very interesting first half of the year. Hamilton is just behind us in second. I can tell you guys now, if we get promoted in year 1, I'm really hoping it's by winning the league, because I think if we have to go to these playoffs, it's going to be rocky. Even though we've been playing so well, I just think if we have to go up against the Hamilton, who has a better team on paper, that's going to be rough. And then even if we somehow win this, the way that the Scottish leagues go, there's a reason there's only 3 teams in the playoff. The winner of this still then has to go and play, the bottom championship team that's in that relegation playoff. So it's not like you just go up automatically. You will be playing someone that is in this number 9 spot in the championship, which right now is Queen's Park, historically another big fallen giant of Scotland. So not that I'm not confident in us, but if we get promoted, of course, I want to go up as the number 1. So I think for episode 1, this is going to be kind of the wrap up. For those of you who have made it this far in the video, Just want to say thank you for coming along with this ride. Hopefully you enjoy it. If you have any comments on your preferred way of watching the FM series, if you like it like this, where it's slow burn, I don't want to do it where I'm putting out 2-hour videos and they are like 2 seasons in one video. I really kind of want to take my time with it, make sure you guys are getting a lot of information, feeling some of the players out, getting, pretty much getting used to and getting a feel for these players, so it feels like you are getting connected to the story as much as I am, who's playing it a ton. So let me know how you guys like watching your series. If there's something that I haven't showed that you want to see, if you want to see, certain things about certain players, if you want to see certain things about the club, whatever it is, let me know. I'm here to tell this cool story and to play it, but also to share it with you guys. So I'll be happy to show things that you want to see. On top of it, I am going to link my Twitch link in the bio, in the description. Hello, I can't speak. Because I do think I want to upload 2 times a week, like I said. And, it might be the 2 videos a week might cover half a season. Sometimes they might cover a full season, depending on what's going on. But I think, realistically, it's probably going to more be, a first half of the year, a second half of the year. 3 or 4 episodes might be a season. So again, I want to do it a nice slow burn. I don't want to rush through this by any means. I don't like simulating games. I've played every game so far this season. I don't like simming games, and that's nothing against people that do, but that's just the way I like to get plugged into these saves and really addicted to it, and feel like I'm in there. I know everything about this club. I know what our weaknesses are, our strengths are, what I need to do next, things like that. So I do want to upload 2 times a week here on YouTube, but I think throughout those, I might start streaming here and there just to play more games with anybody that wants to come and actually watch, game after game, watch what I'm doing with training stuff, what I'm doing with individual stuff, scouting, all that stuff. So if that's something that interests you, also let me know down below, and you can go check out the Twitch, and I will be streaming, hopefully, this coming week. If everything goes accordingly, I think this video is going to come out Sunday the 9th, maybe Monday the 10th, and then from there, we'll be hopefully on a nice little track. So, again, if you made it to the end, thank you. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, and I will see you guys in the next one back here with the Golden Coast Project in East Fife. I'll see you guys then.